in our hotel room, Big Boss had to play Wadi. And so Leo was playing Mewtwo, and he was beating Big Boss with Mewtwo. And Big Boss is not a slouch. Beating Big Boss with like a random tertiary character is not something to sneeze at, but like Leo was doing it. Leo was giving him that good matchup practice.
I remember actually his Mewtwo from the Smash 4 days, but it's not time. Right now, it's not time to talk about that. It's all about Goblin versus Big Boss, and opening up strong is a Goblin just pushing Big Boss into the ledge. However, this is the raw magic, just getting the grab and getting a ton of damage. That the reasons that he can get, but let's not talk about the reasons as well. The spike just straight up obliterating that suck from Goblin.
And get down to the pool, boy. We are playing right now, and Goblin trying to go for a read for the forward smash is not gonna land. Big Boss coming up with the get-up attack, very dangerous against Roy, but having all that trust in himself. Okay, the jazz hands are gonna deliver a lot of damage. Okay, the rotor arm. Okay, Big Boss is playing insanely well right now. He wasn't this.
Oh,
he didn't
no.
have this momentum yesterday, and now even making Goblin made a terrible mistake. I hate to see that kind of stuff happen soon, but right now Big Boss is dominating, the man who plays for the bars and the stars.
And Goblin was the one who spent all this time in training mode. Like, I would not expect it to happen. He is the one who's actually warmed up. But he finally gets in stock. He catches the side B. Now, it's also a matter of seeing where these guys are playing. Lately, today in particular, I have seen all the matches that go to Smashville be played on either side. Nobody's really trying to control center stage anymore, which is surprising to me. But hey, that's a bit of a development. You always want to push as far as possible. And Goblin is doing a great work right now. Trying to catch up to Big Boss.
Yeah, and I mean, it's always interesting to see like what somebody's general strategy on specifically Smashville is, because there are two very distinct schools of thoughts. One of them is hiding underneath that center platform like an umbrella and forcing an approach through that corridor. The other one is trying to push your opponent to the ledge as fast as humanly possible so that you can do things like that. That jab back air comes through, Goblin finds the stock, and now all of a sudden, despite that SD at low percents on the second stock, is back in this game. He's not given up yet. He's not going to quit, and Big Boss has to be careful that he doesn't let this game slip away from him.
Yeah, I was a little worried about Goblin's mentality right there after such dominating the start. However, here he is trying to make the comeback and swinging with that forward tilt. Maybe not the option he was looking for right there. However, the upper will find its mark. Goblin looking to control the center. However, Big Boss just steals it away from him, and the upper might put in some more damage. Big Boss actually sharking that. I like the option. And Goblin once more has Big Boss by the ledge, just spending that jump and going super high as much gas as he could expend, but the trade all the way from the backer hit him. Yeah, I was sure, like,
wow.
I saw the animation and it was like, yeah, like Rob's backer, he was hits with the entire body and then some. Like,
he needs it.
Yeah, I thought for a moment that it was Roy's forward tilt that made the hit, but
same.
But to the hell, it simply was hit in that way. Well, that's the spark of genius, the stroke of genius that Big Boss is showing to us right here, right now. And Toon, I think that is going to be the start. And yes, this is Goblin's pick. This is Goblin's stage right here, right now, and he's again starting with all this kind of momentum going forward, trying to maintain the kind of gameplay that he was winning last game. It was simply that stroke of genius from Big Boss, who took the number one for his table. Oh my God, that's a Roy that respects himself, Toon.
Yes, that's 20 seconds and some in advantage state for Goblin. No chance for Big Boss to go back to center stage, and he desperately needs it. He finally gets to use the gyro, and now it's Big Boss's turn. But how far away will he push him? Now, of course, the gyro will be a bit of a headache, and this is where you don't want to be. We're burning resources. Nothing, though. Goblin makes it back in. I keep telling you guys, no fight in center stage. They're not using that platform as an umbrella as you usually would. And this is an exciting new development. And again, the farther you push them, the better. That's the first step for Big Boss, who is once again on top, but this time no SDs.
Big Boss still has to be very, very careful, though, in this game, because I talk about this all the time. Winning the game isn't everything when it comes to momentum. Goblin had almost a reverse 3-stock comeback at the end of that. If he's able to carry that momentum like he's doing right now into this game, Big Boss could be finding himself on the receiving end of a beatdown. He was able to find his way back, like you said, Toon, to center stage, to be able to force Goblin to the ledge instead, and he's continuing to do so. But he needs to keep up this pressure, or he might find himself in trouble.
trouble is what might be waiting for him there. The recovery perfect, just stalling ever so slightly to make sure that none of the Rob's projectiles was able to hit him. And the ledge trap once more. A lot of pummels right there, maybe working on the up throw percent. However, Rob being quite heavy, I don't think that is going to be coming anytime soon. However, those hits, the raw hits from Roy are a good way to actually seal it out. Beautiful tech also from BigBoss, and not even punishing the regrab. I am quite surprised about that. BigBoss, though, is still working on this lead, and he is trying to extend it as far as possible, not even connecting. The percent is so high, the double-edge dance didn't even fully connect. That is something that you don't see every day normally. That is one of Roy's best, and the up throw to almost close it, that would have been quite different if BigBoss got it.
What?
However, the upper from below, such active frames on that move, allowing him to get like the full stock lead right here as Goblin does take one.
190, more than 190 was the damage that Goblin had to do to BigBoss. Right now he's trying to cut some slack, trying to pick it up in the center of the stage. I want to try to find something, the neutral air. Oh no, BigBoss said the slap. A big mistake!
No.
Paying the debt with that SD of his own. That's gonna be big, because right now Goblin has the momentum. Goblin has caused that mistake, and right now a little bit of aggression, a little bit of harassment over here with the gyro on the far side of the stage, trying to do something. Okay, second air, forward there. Great stuff by Goblin, already landing for 51%. Yet again, going for the downer. He's a shark. He's a hunter. That's a lion from Lyria, my dear last.
It's not the end of the world, though, for BigBoss. We saw during Stock 1, you said it, Colt, he lived to 190%. If you find yourself living that late against a character with as much straight hit kill power as Roy, you're doing something very right, and BigBoss is looking to repeat that performance here, but he does need to be careful about taking any more of those big hits, like that double-edged dance, for example, which does come through and closes out the game. So Goblin is able to carry that momentum from the almost reverse 3 stock in game number 1, takes game number 2, but now we'll be going on to BigBoss's counter pick, and that's where things get scary, because there's a few stages, like Kalos, for example, where BigBoss can really do some damage.
I was thinking it's either PS2 or Kalos, and we do hear some Pokemon music. Granted, that could also play on FD, but I don't think they would go out of their way to play some Pokemon music. What I do realize, though, is that Goblin is getting a bit better in his spacing. You know, he's actually honing that skill. And there we go, it's gonna be PS2. He was whiffing a lot earlier on, and also getting some It's highway robbery right here. This robot is a rubber.
What a good start for BigBoss in this game number 3. Imagine a better way to take back momentum after a close game 2 loss than just immediately 0 to deathing your opponent and then building up 47, now 66% extra credit before they've even really had the opportunity to touch you.
Oh my god, what a way to recover this kind of control. And again, the forwarder is going to do something great. The tech chase with the neutral air, going to find something. Goblin trying to recover, trying to become the beast that he was before, but right now BigBoss is simply taming him. He's simply taking him for a ride. What an option! Forward smash! That's the kind of thing I want to see, Roy.
The bravest of force message just straight up in his face. Now it's BigBoss's turn to actually try to go for something, and he does get it, as the gyro in hand could allow him to even extend this lead a little further. Beautiful. The catch was absolutely perfect there from Goblin, and not allowing BigBoss to actually get something started. And he is trying to punish more, but he gives up the control of the center, which could be very dangerous for him. However, perfect tech as well, not allowing BigBoss to extend any more damage. And the tech situations are very crucial for Rob as well, since down tilt does allow a lot of those. And Goblin fighting from behind here, but he's made it happen in the past. I mean, it did get some pretty huge involvement from BigBoss's side with those SDs as well. However, we cannot discount Goblin just yet.
Well, it's amazing for me to see, too, how Goblin seems to be of the idea that he can do stuff with the gyro as well, and he does try to. Sometimes it helps him catch BigBoss like this time, and of course gets this back to even stocks. It's also pretty amazing how they might SD, they might get a 2-stock lead. Everything always ends up on the same amount of stocks at the end of the day, and then the percent is the real difference. Goblin with some amazing punish game as time goes on, but it's usually the same story. He starts out with a really, really bad first stock and then builds up momentum. You don't hate that, of course. You always want to keep it competitive, but will it ever be too late? Will there come a time where Goblin can't quite catch up?
It's got to be very, very soon, though, because if he's not careful, one more ledge interaction could be curtains for this game, and BigBoss is certainly searching for it. Goblin, though, gets that landing fair, pushes BigBoss off stage, now has gyro in hand, going to get the parry, but just jabs instead of going for the up air. Here's a tech chase. The sliding F-tilt not going to be the sweet spot, so it's not going to be enough. BigBoss comes back onto stage with the quick pop of the gyro, going to be looking for a landing nair, trying so desperately to close this out before Goblin can take him down. The down smash cross stage isn't enough, but the gyro snipe, the laser snipe, neither are enough. Goblin still kicking.
Oh my God, this is the moment. This is the moment when the wheel is the one who puts forward. Ah, what a great DI, divine intervention over there by BigBoss. Gets hit by his best friend, still back into the stage. Goblin letting him go in, telling him come here. Oh, trying to bait something out. Still very, very even, not enough. That was the wet sock, not enough to slap BigBoss out of here. The laser is not gonna work. Let's see if BigBoss is back into the stage. That's gonna be enough. No, great DI also from Goblin. They are really feeling the tension right now. There is pressure, the nair is not gonna hit. The laser, the gyro, BigBoss again with the nair is enough. This is enough. So close, Roy. Yesterday they had this kind of match, all of them going into the last hit. These two players are really making themselves better. They are asking for each other more and more and more each set. It's simply amazing.
I mean, if one nair doesn't work, then just keep trying, right? Like Rob definitely had those options and a little bit riskier, but however forcing, since the percentages were so high, to maybe do a little of the chump check on Goblin as far as parries go, right? Because that's the only ways, one of the only ways to actually deal effectively with that Rob nair. And also, as you were saying, Colt, I love the fact that they are just pushing each other to the limit, even though we've seen some spaghetti as well. Like, they seem to be playing very confidently, and I mean, as far as things go, I mean, could be a great start for Goblin as well.
You know, I keep telling you this, it seems like the first stock is not existing at the end of the day. You know, the whole story, you really have to look at the whole picture, but this is a pretty even beginning, all things considered. This is where things might actually take a turn for the better. And also, like you said, well, you were talking about that nair. I think everyone has kept the same narrative. Dude, just nair Rob's neutral, parry Rob's neutral, right? It's so easy, quote unquote. It's a very long-lasting hitbox. But it's easier said than done. I think Goblin has really put a lot into that strategy. Does not pay off quite yet, but this first stock might be the difference. How much longer will Goblin live? And of course, will he be able to use a rage at his advantage? He keeps living. That's already a bit of a victory in my book.
It looks like we're starting to see a bit of a reversal of the pattern where the first stock doesn't seem to matter as much in the previous games, but this time it seems like it matters quite a bit because it's lasting quite a while. Just as I say that, though, BigBoss goes deep off stage, finds that fair, takes down Goblin's stock and tune. I think you hit the nail right on the head. It's all three stocks that make a story, not just the first one. This has been going down to the wire every time. Last game started with a 0 to death from BigBoss, and it came down to a nair killing at 190%. So it's definitely going to come down to the wire. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Game 5. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a last stock situation. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a timeout.
God damn, that would be actually kind of hype. Like, they don't all have to be boring as people like to paint them. But yeah, I do agree on the fact that these matches have been so back and forth that seems to be the way that this set is going to go. However, the question is still on the air. Who of both of these guys is actually going to take it? Who has the grit to actually hang on? And it seems like BigBoss is giving away something. The rotor arm just... It's very effective there. It has a ton of frames where you can hit the opponent. However, it also has a ton of recovery. And look at that. The way that Goblin is even getting aggressive off stage just talks about the confidence in going for a second one. I thought that for sure was going to be downer into downer. However, BigBoss is still managing to hold on, and he still has a fighting chance, but this could go straight into game number 5.
Yep, seems like it.
What a good tech chase from Goblin! We were talking about how we wouldn't be surprised if it went last stock, last hit in this game, but Goblin just ripping up the script and throwing it in our faces, finding that double tech chase off of the down tilt to immediately take that KO and send us straight to a game 5. Toon, what do you think Big Boss needs to do differently in that game, in this game number 5, to avoid that same situation?
I think the previous games, what he was doing great was sometimes waiting for Goblin's whiff. You know, there was a lot of micro-spacing interactions in which he was moving amazingly. Rob is a pretty big hitbox, so when you keep chasing him, eventually you're going to hit him. But Goblin, a lot of times he was hitting him with the limp sock. I think that's what Colt called it. And
The wet sock.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, Big Boss was doing great finding the spacing so that Goblin would hit him with that. And lately, it seems like it's all sweet spot. And that's a very big difference here. The fact that Big Boss gets so much percent in the beginning, it's due to that. He has lost track of his micro spacing.
And right now he's simply going crazy. Big Boss is on the ropes. Goblin has everything. Look at that. That laser out of shield going to deliver a lot of damage, and the uppers are going to start landing. Over there, you don't want to stay there with Roy below you because it's going to be very dangerous. And in the center of the stage, let's see if Big Boss can find something, because right now Goblin is simply dominating the neutral yet again, trying to hit something right now. Goblin going for the kill options, trying to find that forward tilt again. El calcetinazo, the wet sock, is going to deliver a little bit of damage, but not enough, not what Goblin is looking for. And this is where Big Boss needs to do something. The robot is angry, the robot is feeling the rage of the machine, and Roy is against it. But okay, the forwarder, no, a mistake over there. I think that was a misinput from Roy.
I do think that was a misinput, but good stuff to Goblin for quickly recovering from that mistake, being able to get himself back into neutral. And these upbees out of shield, Colt, it's not been enough to KO yet, but they've been hitting time and time again. Every time that Big Boss tries to touch his shield, Goblin just immediately pulls the trigger on that uppie. That get off me, get away from me, get me out of here option from him has been more than flawless thus far.
Flawless is what Big Boss is going to have to be if he wants to bring this one back. I mean, Goblin has been playing incredibly well, and what a way to bring it back, right? He found himself down below and the trenches at some point. Oh, he fails.
Uppie again.
Confirm, yeah. Like, that could be the down smash. That could be so many things, but let's not talk about what could have been, but about what it is. And that was a forward smash that was looking extremely scary. We are on the verge of perhaps a 3-stock on Goblin's side.
Well, that's a payoff. You keep the security of the hitbox, or you go for this possibility of a stronger hit. That's in exchange of Crom and Roy. But hey, Goblin seems to be doing amazing this time around. Remember, this is also Big Boss's counter pick. He brought it back to the same stage where he won game 1, but as time went on, I think Goblin developed a really good strategy here, and it's paying off now. They're super close to taking away his second stock, and of course, Big Boss, how long has it been since he got center stage? Not until now. Not until now he gets to throw and stuff. That's great. But really, it's taking so long for him, and now he gets pushed to the sides. Goblin is looking so good, on the verge of reaching top 5.
Finds the nair, sends Big Boss deep off stage yet again. I think you hit the nail on the head once again, Toon, that Big Boss has just not been able to regain control of center stage. Throughout the first couple games on Smashville, what he was doing was he was pushing Goblin to the ledge, yes, but he was doing that from center stage. He had to retain control of the center before he could take that ledge control. Now, he's getting neither ledge nor center stage, and Goblin knows it. He's not letting Big Boss get any sort of in neutral. He's instead just waiting and punishing and destroying, finding that jab back air at high percent from the center stage, from that center platform, and as a result, knocking Big Boss out of this tournament at 5th place.
Wow, what a situation. He gets the salty run back. What happened in pools doesn't matter anymore. Goblin rebuilded himself, and Big Boss was simply destroyed. That last stock was insane, and I do believe that there was a big strategic mistake there from Big Boss, because Goblin feels very comfortable over there in Smash.